Alright, so today I'm doing something pretty cool. I'm building a kit guitar. This is my second kit guitar. I had a Les Paul style one that I did a couple of years ago. That one I just stained, like with wood stain. This one I'm going to try to paint. As you can see, it's a telly body, and it has a rosewood neck right here. It's got a rosewood fretboard and more of a Strat style headstock than a Telly style headstock, which I'm kind of cool with because I don't love the Telly style headstock. But I'm going to be going for a like Sherwood green type of thing. I've always loved that color from Fender, and I don't know how close this is going to be, but I've got some paint. I have some clear, and I'm going to try to go and do a Sherwood Telly, similar to one you get from Fender. I'll put a picture of one here on the screen right now so you can see kind of what I'm going for. Let's get into it. So the painting turned out to be a little bit of a nightmare. I only was able to film the first coat of the front of the guitar for a couple of reasons. I live where I work. I'm a maintenance man for an apartment complex, and people just kept coming up to me and wanting to know what I was doing, so couldn't really film the entirety of the painting process for that reason. But also, my little tripod I was using broke, so I unfortunately can't film putting the electronics on the guitar either. But the reason it was a bit of a nightmare was because I was too impatient, mainly. The guitar looked so bad to the point to where I almost scrapped this entire video and just called it a day and was left with parts. It is where I was at. But I decided not to do that so that I could kind of, if you're going to do this, know the mistakes I made and not make them yourself. So first things first, on the paint can, it claims that it's dry and ready to handle within an hour. I disagree. I feel like I was handling this guitar and I was getting fingerprints in the paint and all this stuff, and it just wasn't coming out great. So I sanded it back, did it again, ran into the same problems. I'm sure you saw my setup of the cardboard boxes I was setting them on. Knowing what I know now, wish I would have bought some fishing line or something to hang it up and do it that way, which is the way a lot of people do it. But I thought with the paint saying that it would be ready to be handled in an hour, that I would be fine. But when I would flip the guitar over to do a coat on the backside, I would have cardboard stuck to the front of the guitar. And so it obviously wasn't dry enough for me to be doing it that way. Obviously, dry enough to be handled and completely dry is two different things. I should have known that. That's on me. But I do have the neck with me. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. I did a color match headstock. The body is actually drying with some clear on it right now. I've got it to the point to where I was halfway okay with it. So it looks okay-ish from a distance. Like it's not terrible. I've got some bleed from the tape. Like it's okay-ish from far away, which is fine. It's not a factory finish. I knew it was not going to be a factory finish, but from up close, there's like these spot. Like that's where I'm talking about, where like chunks of paint was coming out when I was touching the guitar. And there's some on the headstock as well as on the front of the body itself. But I'm honestly tired of using a sanding block, so I'm just going to roll with it. And I may go back later and get a palm sander and redo the entire thing. I may do that. I don't know. I may get it put together and decide I like the way it is as it is and just deal with it. I don't know what the answer to that is. Unfortunately, like I said, I cannot record the process of me putting the electronics in, but I did not realize that this is a solderless kit anyway, so it would have literally just been me snaking wires through the holes and then plugging them in, which is not all that interesting, and you're not going to learn anything from me doing that. So it's fine. I will be back, and the next time you see me, the guitar will be put together, and I'll plug it in, and we'll play it and hear what it sounds like. Okay, so I have put the guitar together to the best of my abilities, and what I mean by that, I'm not very happy with the company that sent me this because they forgot some parts. Excuse the strings, I haven't trimmed them down yet. But so the like barrels or whatever you call them that go in here, it's just like a bare tuner that's in there because they didn't give me the actual barrel piece that the tuner goes into. Also, they didn't give me screws for my input jack, so I just had to steal one off of another guitar to make sure it stayed on there. Other than that, I plugged it in for a second. The thing sounds incredibly good. I enjoy the way it sounds. I do not love the way it looks. Like I told you, it was kind of a nightmare, especially up here in this area. But I like the way it sounds so much that I think I am going to attempt to possibly relic it or something like that to try and make it look like it looks bad on purpose, if that makes any sense, because I feel like that's going to be less work than taking it all the way back apart and redoing it all over again, and I just don't have that in me. Not right now, anyway. But, yeah, I'm a fan of the matching headstock. I really like that. I've always loved Tellys and Strats with matching headstocks. It's always been my favorite. Also, one way that I screwed up is I lost track of my coats of my clear, and I didn't realize it until I went to put it together, and I realized that the sides and the back of this thing are nowhere near as shiny as the front. I think I did possibly 2 extra coats of clear on the front. I don't know how I managed that, but I did. So, yeah, it's got a pretty shiny front, and the back and sides are kind of satiny, which I'm fine with because you're never going to see the back or sides. Also, really like the neck profile on this, and the fretwork is actually very, very good. The tuners are low quality. Didn't come with all the parts for the tuners. I probably will buy another set of tuners. I expected to have to buy some pickups, but I don't think I'm gonna have to. Overall, I'm more happy with the project than I am not, because it turned out to be a decent guitar once put together. I don't think I've said this yet, but I paid I think it was like $80 shipped to the house for the kit, and then I paid $10 for the paint and $10 for the gloss, clear. So all in all, I'm in for $100 for this thing, and I'm kind of happy with it. And it's it's a functioning guitar for $100, and that's saying a lot. So let's hear what it sounds like. I'm gonna play with some dirty tones as well as some clean tones, and then I'll get out of here. Hey, so I actually lied about doing dirty tones because I just found out that this guitar can handle absolutely no gain. So I am going to show you some clean tones, but if you plan on buying one of these kits, probably plan on picking up some pickups if you play some heavier music. I don't know I don't know why I didn't expect this, but you know, whatever. So here's some clean tones. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if you've done a kit guitar yourself, if you ran into the same pitfalls as me, or if you have any advice for me on what I should do the next time if I decide to do another one. Also, check me out on TikTok if you haven't played on Repeat Pod. We have metal discussions over there all the time. Also, come check me out on my next video. We do a video on this channel every Monday and every Friday. Thanks again. Bye.